Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. A lot of you guys wished for more programming related content, so today I want to introduce you to a very important concept when it comes to programming, so definitely stay tuned. The concept I want to talk about with you is the limiting factor of an exercise. This is something super valuable for you to know when it comes to writing programs for hypertrophy and for strength, or also when you write programs to get better in certain movements. And to explain you the concept behind the limiting factor a bit better, let's do this together with an example. When it comes to pull training, a lot of calisthenics and weighted calisthenics athletes are using the pull-up. And this will be also our example for the limiting factor today. Because if you are doing a couple of sets of weighted pull-ups, what is giving up first? So what is the limiting factor of this exercise? Is it really your back that you might want to tackle? Is it the biceps? Is it your fingers because they hurt? Is it the forearms? Is it your brachialis that gives up first? This information is super useful because this is what in the end prevents you from progressing on the long run, because this factor is limiting your performance on this exercise. We basically have now two options how we can deal with that limiting factor that we found out. The first thing is, if we're working hypertrophy orientated and we're not too much interested in progressing so much in one movement, we want to use this limiting factor and train around it. So let's take the example from the pull-up, and you're doing a couple of sets, and what gives up first is your biceps and your back is not really tired. If you're looking forward to really build up a big turtle back, that is not good if your main lift is limiting really the gains of your back because the arms are giving up first. So if that's the case, let me show you what you can do. Okay, if the arms are the limiting factor from your pull-ups and you can't really finish your back, what you can do is just integrate assistance exercises in your training program that do have the back as a limiting factor and not the biceps. And therefore, you can use, if the forearms are giving up close to the biceps here, you can just use lifting straps to erase the grip itself as a limiting factor. For rowing exercises, you can use a mag grip like this. Due to the nice hand placement here, you almost need no grip strength and you can easily row or also pull up with almost no effort from the forearms, and so also less involvement of the biceps. And then very important with rowing exercises is that if in your main exercise the biceps is limiting, then you row with an open arm angle like this, not like this, because the more you close the biceps, the more it is involved, not the biceps, the elbow obviously. So keep the arm open and try to really focus on pulling with that elbow backwards and try not to close the elbow in here. This will help you to really feel your back and to not feel the biceps so much. But what's happening if you really need to get better in those pull-ups and you really need to get rid of these limiting factors because your main goal is not hypertrophy, but you are a competitive athlete and you really need to get rid of those limiting factors? Then the programming behavior would be a bit different. We do not want to train around those limiting factors, we want to get rid of them. That means if your biceps is limiting your pull-up, then you're gonna curl and you do a shitload of curls and you're gonna do them heavy and you're going to do them frequent because it's anyway the best thing you can do. If you are too weak in the grip because your fingers are always slipping, then the first thing you do is you add a ton of chalk. You add it to the hand, you add it to the bar, and programming wise, you integrate forearm work. everyone has sufficient equipment for forearm work. I can give you an example with the barbell. You can just easily grab it and you can do some barbell forearm curls like this. They will help you a lot with the wrist flexion here, so they will get you a strong false grip, and that would be your way to go in the programming. And as you now can imagine, there are several of examples of different limiting factors for different movements. For powerlifters, usually the limiting factor is somewhere here in the lower back and needs to be considered for programming. For us calisthenics athletes, which are training planches, handstand push-ups, overhead presses, weighted dips, shoulder can be a limiting factor that you need to control in your program. So there are a lot of details that you need to take care of, and thinking of the limiting factor is something to avoid for hypertrophy orientated programs or to tackle for strength or movement orientated programs will definitely get your performance on the next level. If you think you are not advanced enough yet with your programming skills, then I can definitely help you with this. We have a lot of experience, we work with a lot of athletes, we know all the limiting factors. I take a look at your movement and I immediately can see what the limiting factor in your movement is, and then we can get rid of this together. And the first step, as you guys know, is schedule your free consulting call. Link is in the description. And then hope to see a lot of you guys in the consulting call so we can work together in the coaching.